Welcome to an episode of Thoughts of an Average Joe podcast. It is Teroy Jackson, man, your favorite average Joe. Hey, man, I know it's been a while. It's a lot of stuff to go over, man. First of all, I'm moving into. I got my own apartment. I got my own apartment. I moved in January 31st, man. God has blessed me. I'm grateful for that. I'm having a baby and I'm getting married. Yeah, I know things happen quick in the world, right? I'm having a baby. May of next year, and I'm getting married March of next year. Say no, I'm playing. I ain't having no baby and getting married, but I am moving January 31st. So when the setup would be different. I have a whole room, as you see. I got my Eagles jersey on. I know we trash. I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, man, it's good to be back. I just needed to get everything in order. I'm gonna start, Warren and Tyler got on my ass, and Juice. So I'm gonna get back on my shit, man. Other than that, how's everybody been doing, man? I ain't gonna be too long. We're starting a series. It's called the Relationship Resume Series, right? Episode 1 is dating while healing, the half written resume, right? Because I do feel like, right, dating is kind of a resume. It just depends on what you're willing to put forth. Like I'm saying, dating is kind of like job interview. You get the resume, shows you the best parts of you, and then when the employer employs you, over time they get to see who they're actually, dealing with. Like, who are we? Who are we dealing with here? So I missed y'all, man. I'm glad to be back. I'm gonna be more consistent. I just working these 2 jobs. I'm gonna just find time. I'm doing overtime like crazy, so I'm gonna find time to get this content out for y'all for sure. So let's get into it, man. We're dating in a time where everyone's trauma is on the application, but nobody wants to admit it. Once again, we're dating in a time where everyone's trauma is on the application, but nobody wants to admit it. The theme of this episode, right, for this first part, man, it'll probably be a 3 or 4 part series because I do like this topic a lot. What it means to date while emotionally in progress, right? I am a firm believer of you do not need to be healed to date. I don't think you need to be fully healed to be date. Everybody be like, come healed and all that other stuff. Healing takes a lot of time. And I feel like a lot of people don't know how to just sit with themselves, right? And be still and really learn themselves. I think part of the reason why, right? I read this. I saw this. I heard this somewhere. And it was like a lot of people don't. When the relationship gets tough, they don't know how to work through it because you're looking basically at a mirror of yourself on the things that you can't see, right? Everybody thinks like, oh, I'm this person, I'm that person. I don't cheat, I pay bills, I'm a good man. But yes, I could be well. How do you talk to your lady? How do you talk to her? Do you treat her with respect? Do you uplift her? Or are you more like a bitch, shut the fuck up and come here? You do as I say because I pay the bills. Are you more manipulating and controlling? For the women, are you a helpmate or are you a burden? Are you actually going to help, you see you see your nigga grind? Are you actually going to stay down and see the vision? Or are you just going to dump trauma onto your next man because the last nigga did you dirty? And I understand we all go through shit. I had to learn that the hard way. I had a lot of trauma. Obviously, before y'all know my relationship in COVID, I had a lot of trauma dealing with women who, didn't really care for me, or my personality. Was just more so like I ain't gonna like I said I didn't used to lead with money because I ain't have money, but I knew bitches liked money, so I would do my best to make sure they had it. That put me in a bad predicament. No more. We're not playing that. Right. So yeah. To date while emotionally in progress. You can do that. I don't think you need to be healed 100% to date. You just have to know, like, listen, you got to be honest with the person. Here's where I'm at in life. Here's where I'm at right now. Can you meet me in the middle? Yes, because I feel like, right, you're going to deal with people's trauma at some point anyway. So I don't think you need to be fully healed to date. Because at some point you're going to say something that's going to trigger. I heard people multiple times saying like, "Oh, you have certain characteristics of my dad, and me and my dad didn't get along, and I got penalized for it. That ain't got shit to do with me. Hey, my fault that you ain't get along with your pops. I ain't got nothing to control that. Just like, I don't. I'm also not of the mindset where people be like, how a guy has a relationship with his mom will determine if he treats a woman right. Because me and mom we have a decent relationship now. We don't have the best relationship. Like, I'm not as close to her as my other brothers, but because, I saw how my dad treated my mom, I know how to treat a woman. So let's talk about the myth if I'm healed now. So people feel like because time passing equals healing, and people often convince themselves they're moved on because they're tired of hurting, right? And it's a tricky part to that, right? Because I am of the mindset that in order to, I believe that half of the issue is in order to get over somebody, you have to get under somebody. I do feel like that helps the process. I don't feel like that helps you get over somebody. And just because time passed does not mean that you're healed. Time passed could be cool, but if you don't confront the trauma and the issues that were on from your last relationships, like, it's not going to work. Like, for example, y'all know when I was dealing with Britt, and we broke up. And even when I started talking to somebody new, there will be times to where, like, when I used to work at the Cracker Barrel, I work at the Cracker Barrel and I would be by myself and I would listen to an episode and I maybe talked about her, or maybe me and her did the episode together, and like all those feelings came back because I never really sat there and confronted myself to do the work. Like, now I'm over completely. Like, there's not a speck of me that would be like, let's try this again, right? Like, I feel like it's been 4 years since the break. Yeah, 4 years since the breakup. That's like, you know what I'm saying? But I had to really sit there and do the work and be like, okay, why am I not over her? What did she do that was so different to where, like, I'm stuck on her, if that makes sense? Like, and I don't think it's wise to convince yourselves you're moved on because you're tired of hurting. I feel like you need to stay. It's going to sound crazy. You need to stay in that hurt. And I do feel like at one day you wake up and you be like Summer Walker says, you finally over it. It just clicks and I'm finally over it. But until that day, I feel like you can date. I don't think you can actually be in a relationship with, like, if you're not I don't want to say completely over your ex, but like if there's a temptation to where your ex would be like, I want you back, and you're in a relationship and you even contemplate it, you don't need to be in a relationship, because you're not giving the person who you're with a fair chance. Because in the back of your mind, you always know that's who I want to be with them. That's who I want to be with. How people convince themselves they moved on because they're tired of hurting, I feel like it's complete bullshit. Sit in that hurt, man. Evolve, elevate. You know what I'm saying? Like, women use that hurt and they go to the gym and get fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas need to use that hurt and level up, stack up. Like, you know what I'm saying, let that be your motivation. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to feel to feel. I don't want to say hurt, but it's okay to feel like you're missing that person. Like, you don't got to always stay strong and go out and get up under another nigga or go clubbing and resort to drugs or whatever. It's okay to be in that hurt. Let's talk about the difference between avoiding pain and actually processing it. And then we'll talk about here how unhealed trauma sneaks out in behavior: overreacting, emotional shutdown, disappearing, taking things personally, sabotaging something good. I remember I was talking to a chick after I'd broke up with Britt or whatever, and I felt like everything was good, but I felt like there was a lot of trauma that she had that, like, I was getting dumped on. Like, it would be just disappearing. Like one day I woke up, she blocked me on Facebook for no reason, but you still text my phone every day. I ain't like that sneaky shit because why are you blocking me on Facebook? It would just be the disappearing. Like there's no way in the world you talking about you want to be with me, but yet like you go through these little stretches, you disappear for like days at a time. Like I'm talking about, I don't hear from you at all. Like yeah, no, I can't get with that. I can't get with that at all. Let's talk about the difference between avoiding pain but actually processing it. Hold on. The difference between avoiding pain and actually processing it, you're not learning what you learned from the relationship, what caused the pain. You're just avoiding it by going over to somebody else, maybe partying, maybe just, not even trying to think about it. I feel like in relationships, you're going to keep having the same issue that you're having unless you actually learn what happened in your last relationship, right? And I think that's the key because a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm not the problem. They're the problem. I can always get a nigga back. Is that a flex? You can always get a nigga back? If you never realize you're the problem, you're the fucking problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know in some, like, as I've gotten older in my relationships, I've been part of the reason as the breakup. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that I've been like, okay, like this all of this ain't on her. Some of this is on me. I could have done better. But as sometimes, like, you want to project and all of that, but in reality, like, like, that you're the issue. So let's talk about the differences between avoiding pain and actually processing it. Like if you're avoiding the pain, right, you keep yourself busy so you don't think. You're jumping into new relationships to distract yourself. You're acting unbothered when you're actually hurting, using humor, sex, or anger as a shield, minimizing what happened. I'm good. It wasn't that deep. Avoidance feels easier in the moment because you don't have to deal with the discomfort, but the pain doesn't disappear. It just hides and leaks out in other ways. Like you said, the emotional numbness, the irritability, sabotaging good relationships, the fear of being vulnerable, constant overthinking, and repeating the same patterns. It's like sweeping broken glass under a rug. Eventually, you're going to step on it, you're going to hurt yourself instead of confronting it straight on. If we processing the pain, it's going to be short-term discomfort, but a long-term peace. You're going to be sitting with your emotions instead of running from them. You're naming what you feel. I'm disappointed. I'm grieving. I feel betrayed. I feel like you let me down. I can't trust you. Understanding what the situation triggered in you. Talking through it, therapy, journaling, deep conversations. Therapy helped me a lot. It helped me realize that, yeah, these women did me wrong, but also I played a part in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not escaping culpability because I'm not innocent in all of this. The big one is allowing yourself to cry without feeling shame and learn the lesson instead of just escaping the feeling. That is the key. Can you learn the lesson without escaping the feeling? That really is the key. So I mean, the core difference is avoidance is escape, processing is engagement. Avoidance protects your ego, processing heals your heart. Avoiding keeps you stuck, and processing moves you forward. That's really good. That's for real, for real. So let's talk into this, man. How healing or not healing impacts dating. Because if you're not going to be healed, right, you're bringing old patterns. You're going to bring old patterns back into new situations when you date from fear instead of intention. For example, right, I have a bad habit, and I've done this in the last two relationships I was in. I have a bad habit of, so the next one I get into, I'm make sure that I do a better job of not doing this. I have a bad habit of waiting. Instead of speaking on something in the moment, I have a bad habit of waiting until it bubbles over, and then it's just bam. Now I'm just out here. I'm mad as hell at you, and not only am I mad as hell at you, like I'm ready to curse you out instead of addressing it in the moment. Instead of addressing it in the moment, or I don't like giving my partner bad news, so I'll hold it in and wait to the last possible second instead of just giving them, instead of letting them do it now and giving them the chance to process it and digest it and seeing how we move on from there. Because if you're dating from fear of being alone, you're not dating with intention, right? Dating with intention is different than dating with fear. Dating with intention is, this is what I want. How are we going to get there? This is the end goal. I want to be married. So I'm dating with intention as opposed to, I just got hurt. You know, I don't really want to be alone. So I'm gonna give the person who don't necessarily fit aligns with my core values or whatever a chance because I don't want to be alone. How healing gaps create mismatches. You want love, but you can't receive it. You want consistency, but struggle with vulnerability. You cannot want consistency, but struggle with vulnerability. I hate when women say that. Women always be like, men aren't vulnerable, but you're not consistent enough with giving us a safe space to be vulnerable, because whenever we use that and tell you how we really feel, it gets brought up in an argument. Like, I saw a clip from This Is Us, and a woman had felt like she was always giving her career, like her time, to her husband instead of focusing on what she wanted to do. And her husband was like, if you wanted to be a ballerina, I would have supported you in that. And she was like, how, when I'm always there for your anxiety attacks, who was going to be there? And you know what I'm saying, that was kind of, you know what I'm saying, it was something similar like that. And it was just like, and she knew she fucked up. She was like, I'm sorry. And it was like, that's just the core example of like why most men don't vent to women. Most men don't vent to their women. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I saw something, right, on Facebook, on Instagram actually. And it was saying that how like men should not be ashamed. How women be like, I want this, this, and this. Men should not be, instead of men taking on the burden and paying for it, men should not be ashamed of letting you know how much shit costs. Because I definitely do. When I'm dealing with somebody and they be like, I want this, I'm like, you want something that's $300 fucking dollars? Like let that, you know, let that digest in your brain. Like, say it out loud with me. You want a Lego piano set for $300. How does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like, let people know what this shit costs. We don't always have to just keep shit in by ourselves. This is key. Self-awareness is more important than being fully healed, right? And I'm going to explain. Self-awareness is more important than being fully healed. Because if you're self-aware, you know exactly what you necessarily need to work on. Self-awareness lets you see the wound. Healing is what actually closes it. Self-aware is insight, right? Self-aware means you know your patterns. You understand why you react the way you do. You can point out your triggers. You can admit your flaws and behaviors. It's the moment you realize, yeah, this is why I do what I do. But the insight alone is not going to change your behavior. The healing part is you're going to change the habits that hurt you, respond differently than you used to, choosing healthier patterns and environments, setting boundaries without guilt, regulating your emotions instead of collapsing or exploding. Healing means you just don't know the problem, but you've done the work to unlearn and rebuild the problem. Self-awareness lives in the mind. Healing lives in the body and behavior. So I'll say this. Self-awareness is more important than healing, because I feel like you can be in a relationship and be self-aware. You can still do the work to be healed, but you know, like, hey, going into the relationship, like, hey, for example, I'm self-aware to where I know I don't like when people ignore me. That shit does not work for me. It brings the crazy out of me. So don't ignore. If you don't ignore me, it won't trigger that part of me. That part I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? It won't trigger that side of me. If you know exactly what you need to work on, I feel like you can be in a relationship, because you can always work on that. You and your partner y'all can go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? You go to therapy by yourself. Like, you don't have to be fully healed to be in a relationship. You just need to be self-aware of what you need to work on and what your triggers are. So therefore you can point that out to your partner. Like, listen, I don't like being ignored. So if we're in an argument, please don't ignore me. Or, hey, I'm self-aware to where if we get into an argument, I need to talk it out right then and there. I can't go to bed mad at you. So let's talk it out. Self-awareness. That is what you can bring to a relationship, whether you're healed or not, that can help you move on and make the relationship successful. So let's talk about dating while healing, healthy versus unhealthy, right? We're going to break down the difference between healthy dating while healing. You have clear communication, you have self-awareness, owning your triggers, knowing your limits, not expecting the other person to fix you. That's the main thing. I feel like a lot of people, when they come in to the relationship, like a lot of people lose their identity when being in a relationship. They lose their identity. They're so consumed with the other person. Like, be consumed with the other person, but still be consumed with yourself. And a good partner will be like, listen, here's the goals that you want. Here's the goals that you got, that you need, right? Let's work on them together so you can accomplish that, and then we can accomplish my goals. As opposed to you just being so self-absorbed to one person, you forget who you are as a person, and that's not healthy in a relationship. Unhealthy dating while healing. You're using people as a distraction. You're emotionally dumping. You have a bad day, and you just emotionally dump what you got going on in your partner, and you're just like, oh, and you just curse them out, and you're so mad at them, and they ain't do shit to you. Why am why am I your emotional punching bag when you know what I'm saying? I haven't done anything to you. Yes, your boss may have made you mad. I didn't make you mad, so please don't take that out on me. Please don't take that out on me. You're relying on a partner to feel whole. I talked to a situation to where I was this girl's everything, and I was this woman's everything. I did not like that. And I'm like, why am I your everything? Right? Like, I shouldn't be your everything. I should be part of who you are. A small piece, but not to where my world revolves around you. Like, I don't think, even in a marriage, I feel like your world should not revolve around your partner. I feel like that is very unhealthy, because now it's like you're almost obsessed with them. Like, it's like whatever they do, it's like, okay, where are you going next? Or why you at Sam's? Why you at Walmart? Why aren't you home? Like, damn, like let a nigga breathe. Let a bitch breathe. You're jumping in situations for validation. You're confusing comfort with compatibility. A lot of people do that. They confuse comfort with compatibility. Oh, I'm comfortable. You're not necessarily compatible, but you're comfortable. So, hey, it's cool. This brings me peace, knowing we're not compatible. You have great sex, but your values don't align. You know what I'm saying? You don't align with money, spiritually. The hustle ain't the same. But yeah, sure. You got great sex. Cool. Now you stuck. Now you're pregnant. Now you stuck with somebody that you're not really compatible with. But because you got a baby, now you got to deal with that, instead of just taking the time and realizing this isn't what I want or who I want to be. So therefore, I'm going to step away from this situation, because in the long run, we're not compatible, and it's only going to hurt us more. So question for my listeners: where are you on the healing timeline? So we're almost done. What a half written resume looks like. All right, so talking points, right? Your strengths, right? Let's talk about that. Like, for example, communication, goals, loyalty, consistency. My half written resume, I would say my strengths are probably the same. I would say loyalty. I have goals, consistency. When we're locked in, I will do everything I can to make sure that we are good. Like, so that means, like, if we're both grinding, working 2 jobs, I'm gonna be tired. I'm gonna work these 2 jobs. If I know that there's something that you really want to help advance your career, or class or something like that, you give me enough time ahead of time, I will make sure I will pay for it, so that way you ain't got to worry about it. Just study, do what you need to do so we can advance your career. That's part of my strengths. My weaknesses is, and one of my strengths is patience. When it comes to, I don't have a lot of patience with people, but when it comes to somebody that I care about, I have patience. So let's see. My weaknesses is I do not trust women with money. So I'm still, like, that's a trauma that I'm still learning. I'm getting better at it, but I do not trust women with money. When it comes to giving people bad news or disheartening news, I delay it to the very last minute. That's one of my weaknesses. And there are times where I just want to be left the fuck alone. Like, I don't want to be bothered with you. Like, you want to be under my skin, and I just want you to leave me the fuck alone. Like, just leave me in peace. Like, go. Like, I would like for my girlfriend to have some friends. Go be with your friends. Like, go bother them, but don't bother me right now. And I feel like, when you're dealing with an affectionate, needy person, that can be an issue at times. So here they got Sim saying some other half written resumes. You also have unfinished work, trust, patience, and emotional control. Um, it's okay to not be finished. It's so not okay to pretend who you are, right? I feel like everybody be like, oh, within 90 days, they could tell you within like 90 days exactly, you know, the real person shows out. Because eventually the facade goes away and you have the real you comes out. It's better to have the real you come out, automatically. Shit. One of my fears is my teeth situation, right? One of my insecurities. But I don't sit there and like if I'm dating somebody and they don't know it, I tell them that up front. I be like, here's my teeth situation. You can either fuck with me or you can't. But I'm not about to hide it because that's too much work. I don't want to hide it. You either gonna fuck with me until I get it fixed, or you're not gonna fuck with me, and that's okay because I know everybody is people are particular about the teeth. I understand it. I know that's not for everybody, but I will. That's the one thing where I give you the heads up automatically, and I be like, listen, I work 2 jobs, so you're going to see me, but you're not going to see me. So when you see me, like if not gonna hold you, if I'm working 2 jobs and I'm dealing with somebody and I see them maybe twice a day, I ain't gonna hold you. We gonna go out and have fun, but I only see you twice a day. I'm expecting pussy those 2 times. I'm not gonna lie to you because I don't see you like that. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, especially we locked in. Like yeah, like if I only see you on the weekends, I'm expecting pussy on the weekends. Unless you're on your period. On your period, I'm expecting some head. I'm expecting something, but I'm still gonna pour into you. We'll still. I'll make time for you. We'll go out. Like I'm saying, like if it's my weekend off, I'll set a weekend aside. We'll go out. We'll do some fun shit. We'll cook or some shit like that, just to make sure, like you're still want you to know that you're still involved in my life. But yeah, you're gonna have to give up some pussy and some head. Like if we locked in and that's only 2 times I see you, let's not do that. Once again, how honesty about where you are can lead to better matches. Shit, I remember when I was dealing with Britt, I told her straight up, like, this is what I got going on. I know you got X, Y, and Z, but at that point, I'm only making $12 an hour. I live at home. I got a car that ain't got no AC. I'll tell you this up front so you know what you're dealing with. So you can't sit there and be like, oh, I'm always sweating in your car. I ain't got no AC, bitch. Of course you sweating in my car. That's why I want to drive your car, because you ain't got no AC. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't got no AC. Now I got AC, but I still, like, I tell people all the time, like, I don't particularly care to drive. Like, I don't mind driving. I don't really want to drive because I'm not the best parker. I feel like I'm a good driver, but I'm not the best parker. And I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear you talking shit. So I tell you up front, if you looking to be a passenger princess, I'm not that. Like, I'm not that type of nigga for you. Like, I'm not the passenger princess or the one to do all your maintenance. Like, I tell women straight up, financially, where I'm at, emotionally where I'm at, and this is what I can bring. If this isn't what you want, then cool. Just leave me alone. Cause don't sit there and be like, oh, I'm used to X, Y, and Z and I'm fucking with you. You ain't gotta fuck with me, sweetheart. You ain't gotta fuck with me. Let's see. Quick list. The top 5 missing pages on most relationship resumes. Um Shit, let's do this. So your top five missing pages on most relationship top 5 missing pages on most relationship resumes. Your work history, your references. Like I'm saying, can people vouch for you? Like I'm saying, like why you ended the relationship, your character traits. Are you crazy? Are you unstable? Like you just think everything's perfect. Your financial situation. What do you have going on? Do you have kids, right? If you have kids, do you have multiple baby daddies, more multiple, you know what I'm saying? Like multiple baby daddies, multiple baby mamas. Like do y'all co-parent together? Is that going to be a problem? A lot of people, like, you know what I'm saying, like they don't say this shit up front until it's too late. Um so let's talk about this, man. Practical steps to dating responsibly while healing. Be upfront about your emotional state. Like, listen, here's what I got going on. Don't rush. Pace the connection. Once again, don't rush. Pace the connection. Just let the connection naturally play out so you can see exactly if that's going to be what it is. I am a firm believer of fucking on the first date to see if y'all are sexy compatible, but don't let the sex rush you into a decision to where you have to be together. Do not let the sex rush you into a decision where you have to be together, because that's just an emotional tie. That's a physical tie. That's not an emotional tie or compatibility. Once again, that's just a little bit of comfort because you're getting a little piece of pussy, you're getting a little side of dick. Let your actions show growth, right? My next relationship, I'm gonna let my actions show growth. Here's what I've learned from my last 2 relationships, and I'm bringing that to the table. Like everything can't just be the other person's fault. It can't be the other person's fault. You have to take accountability and culpability for for your partner relationship as to why it did not work out. The moment you realize that, the better off you'll be. Stay accountable to your triggers. If you know your triggers are X, Y, and Z, stay accountable. And if you end up going off the deep end, apologize. But also let your partner know exactly what those triggers are. Seek clarity, not perfection. Nobody's going to be perfect. We know that. Nobody's perfect. But you have to seek clarity instead of perfection. Listen, speak to your partner. Some people need reassurance. I need clarity. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? What's the end goal? Is it marriage? Or are we just dating to see if we really like each other? Like, what's the end goal? Because if we're just dating to see if we like each other, I'm going to fuck around with other people and still date you. I'm not going to be exclusive to you if you don't know if you want to be exclusive to me. And I think that's where people mess up. They get committed to the wrong people because other people are just wanting to date around and they really like each other and they want to be committed to that person. The other person ain't committed to them. So let's wrap it up, man. You can date while healing, just don't date to heal. Once again, you can date while healing, just don't date to heal. And what I mean by that is don't date to be healed. You can date while being healed. Put in the work to be healing. Don't expect your partner to heal you, right? All right, man. So biggest takeaway is a half-written resume doesn't make you unworthy. It makes you honest. Send me one thing you're still healing from, anonymous if you want, and we'll talk about the most common ones in the last episode of the series, episode 4. Next week, right, is episode 2 of the series. So next week's episode, we're talking about what was it? Hold on. I have it written down. Episode 2 is overqualified in love, why dating feels like a job interview, right? So next week we're talking about overqualification in love and why some people apply for positions they're not even ready to clock into. And I'm going to be speaking to my men directly because there's a lot of men that see a bad bitch, right? Quote unquote a bad bitch, and know they can't afford her or can't bring what she wants to the table and will date her anyway, then complain that, hey, she's too much. Nigga, you know you shouldn't have dated her. But that's next week's episode. All right? Thank y'all for listening, man. I'm sorry, man. It's your favorite average show. It's a good 33-minute episode. I'm going to try to get a guest on for the next episode, man. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Follow the Instagram, The Original Playmaker. I'm bringing a Tailgate Talk podcast back probably next weekend or maybe this week. We'll see. I know I missed a lot of fucking weeks, but I've been trying to get this money right. So for when I move, follow the TikTok, Your Favorite Average Show, man. Follow the Twitter, Your Favorite Average Show. And yeah, man, just share it with a friend. Follow me on Apple, Spotify, Thoughts Every Average Show podcast. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. It's Your Favorite Average Show. I'm going to see you on the next one, man. Next week, same time. Peace.